It's rare in one's lifetime to have an opportunity to know an individual who possesses remarkable character, infallible leadership, dignity, and courage. A man with immeasurable dedication to his family, community, and country. And yet he maintains a humble persona that doesn't seek the limelight. Tonight, we salute that man, Detroit Police Chief Chester L. Logan. We honor him and thank him for 42 years of exceptional service to the city of Detroit.
On July 23, 1967, Detroit was hit by a riot. We said it couldn't happen, but it did, and the nation was shocked.
In 1967, the racial tension between Detroit's growing black population and a predominantly white police force erupted into rioting across the city. The Michigan National Guard and Army troops were brought in to control the disturbance. Meanwhile, the United States was fighting the Vietnam War, and a teenage Chester Logan was deployed to Southeast Asia as an Army paratrooper in the legendary 82nd Airborne Division.
This is the 82nd Airborne Division, fearless among fighting units. Its history is long and famous, crowded with great battles and inspiring deeds of valor.
Early in 1968, the All-Americans were called upon to put this counterinsurgency expertise to use in battle.
My dad was in the 82nd Airborne, and that he took a tour over to Vietnam and came back, and one of his brothers didn't return. So, my father was the one that came back, so I admired that about him.
He was supposed to get out of the Army in, I want to say, March or April, and they sent him over to Vietnam in February, like right before he was getting ready to get out. So I said, I don't know, I probably would have been AWOL on that one, but he went and did what he had to do. And I think at that time he was only 16, 17, he might have been 17. He was a kid.
He jumped out of one of the planes or helicopters, and he thought he had broken his legs, and he said he just laid there in the sun and went to sleep, and when he got up, he said that he was able to walk again. So I know those memories are very, very fond to him, and he said it's something that he'll never forget. And I think obviously that it probably really helped to shape him into the person that he has become today, obviously with that first military experience, because I don't think he had a life that was regimented like that before then.
We love to hear stories about the Army and how he would jump out of planes, and he would sing like the old Army songs about like C-130 coming down the strip, and he would have us, we would sing them in the car and on trips and stuff like that, on road trips, and he would tell us about, I don't remember the story exactly, but it was very dangerous about how a truck he was in drove over a grenade and blew up, and he really thought he was a goner. I mean, I love to hear stories about that.
My fondest memory as well is of him going over the stories and calling the cadences from the Army, which ultimately made me join. My father was so great in so many areas, but I joined the service as well to follow the footsteps of my dad. I'm so very proud of him.
Chief being a paratrooper, jumping out of planes, this is not the smartest thing in the world. Of course, he wasn't a Marine, and we often joke, and I say that in jest, because any individual who served our country, let alone in a war as vicious as the Vietnam War, and in the elite service of the paratroopers as the chief was, you have to give nothing but the highest respect.
After his tour in Vietnam, Logan returned home and joined the Detroit Police Department in 1969. Logan began as a patrol officer and worked his way up the ranks. That was no easy task during those times, but with unwavering discipline acquired through his military training and with an instinctive ability to lead, Chester Logan became a vital asset for the Detroit Police Department.
His demeanor, the way he handled the troops and everything, he was so professional there at the scene. And it really impressed me because that's what I tried to be.
Let's face it, I mean, we know moving up in an organization that historically had been all white or predominantly white probably was a challenge not only for Chester Logan, but for many black officers who came on the force. But because they were professional and they had the military training, they were able to be disciplined, not lose their temper when there were certain issues that might cause for a response, they didn't do it. And so therefore they grew, and you know, that way black and white were able to gain respect for one another, because at the end of the day, it's not black or white, it's blue. I mean, it's a code of brotherhood that they take to protect each other, to make sure everybody that goes out comes home every night.
Coming from that time frame and the struggles that, you know, he had to have gone through, coming from the military, joining the police department in the 60s, you know, the riots, the racial imbalance in the country at that time. It's a testament to where he is today and the type of character that he has today, that he was able to get through that and come out and become the person that he is today.
A lot of tough times in the city. You know, it was a racial divide, and the department was changing. It was becoming more integrated. And Chief Logan, he made rank early, I think within 6 or 7 years of him coming on the job. And if you talk to him, he wasn't always at first accepted by the troops. But knowing him now, I know for sure that it wouldn't take long for him to show his true leadership abilities and for the guys and the women around him to accept him.
At the time when he came on to the police department, there were very few opportunities for blacks. He persevered, rose to the ranks, obviously to the rank of chief, and because of what he's done in the Detroit Police Department, it'll pave the way for many of other executives such as myself to attain rank and in the department.
He took care of business, and that's what I liked about him. He was a very professional police officer.
One of the main things that he did tell me about was the fact that how you should persevere, and no matter what anybody says or does to you, that how important it is to stay focused.
He's a great father, he's a great leader, he's a wonderful police officer, he's respected by many, all that know him, even those that do not know him. They have no choice but to, you know, respect him for his professionalism and his knowledge. He's intelligent, he's well-rounded, he's loving, caring, and giving.
I don't think he even had a doubt in his mind that he would ever do anything else besides be a police officer.
It's his life. I mean, besides family, his career, I mean, just being a police officer means everything to him.
I honestly don't think my father, it's ever been about himself, anything he does. And that's work, family, or anything.
My father's a stand-up guy, and he surrounds himself by stand-up people.
Chief Logan is a strong, respectable gentleman. Over the last year and a half, working closely with him as his chief of staff, I've got a newfound respect for this man. Dealing with what he's dealt with through his career and through his family, and still being able to show extreme dedication to the city and the department, I just have the highest respect for him.
He makes you want to work for him because of his demeanor and how he interacts with you and how you see him interact with others. Just respect, you know.
He just leads by example. He doesn't cuss folks out. He doesn't do all that. He's got this quiet leadership about him, and you just want to follow him. When he says it's something that needs to be done, you do it.
One word comes to mind when I think about Chief Logan, and that's honorable. That word just stands out for me in bold letters when I think about Chief Logan. It's an honorable, straightforward, approachable guy.
Chief Logan is a very kind, open-hearted person. He listens to everyone. He has always have had an open door policy. He just loved to talk to people. He's a community person, loved the community, and very family oriented.
He's been the same person. Regardless of the position, he's been the same person. It's obvious that he is very proud to be a Detroit police officer. it's obvious that the chief is embedded in the history of the Detroit Police Department.
He did it the old-fashioned way. He worked hard and he earned it. So, I mean, everything he got, he earned. And I think he didn't get any, nobody did him a favor. He did the community a favor by being in a position to take the job when it was available, but he earned everything he got.
It was something that he wanted to be, and he made the best of it. He worked towards being the best, and he was the best.
His wife and himself did great things for this department. They embraced the officers whenever you need anything. Chester and Mrs. Logan were always there for you. And I just like to say good luck in whatever you do. If you need me, give me a call, and I'll be there for you.
We salute Chester L. Logan for his distinguished career as a respected member of the Detroit Police Department for 42 years. And we give gratitude for the extraordinary dedication he has shown to our community, his family, and our country.
First, Dad, I love and adore you from the bottom of my heart. There's no better father, no better example, no better leader, no better anything to me, actually, than my dad. He is dynamic in so many ways. He can't be duplicated. And he's just such a great example. And I can't thank him for doing such a wonderful job, being a loving father, a loving husband, grandfather, and just adored by many, the community and everyone that he works with. And it's such a pleasure to me. If I wasn't his daughter, it would be the greatest pleasure to meet him.
I would like to say that I love my dad, and I really, really appreciate him, not just for being there for the city of Detroit, but being there and particularly for my family and my mom.
Hopefully I can be half the woman and man that my parents are, but I'm very, very, very proud of him and thankful.
I can talk about my dad all day long, about all his accomplishments, all his accolades. I mean, I don't want to be emotional, but I just feel truly blessed to have a father like him.
It's a pleasure knowing him. I'm blessed to be in the same family with him because of the marriage of our kids. We're blessed to have grandkids that share our genetics. And one looks like his side of the family and one looks like mine, and that's just beautiful. The highest gratitude that could be given, it would be given by me. I think Chester was a professional. He was the top of the line, and if I was going through it again, he'd be the first person I'd look for.
I will miss him. He's been a calming influence over me, a father figure, and I really appreciate just the way he conducts himself. I can't say it enough, just his management style, his demeanor, and the way he goes about his business every day. He leads by example. Overused cliche, a lot of people say it, but truly, he leads by example. So thank you, Chief.
Chief, you've been a role model to a lot of people on this job, me in particular, and you know that. Your ability to lead the troops during these troubling times, this last year, is an inspiration. It's been a pleasure working with you. We've developed a friendship, so I know I'll be seeing you in the future, but congratulations on your retirement. Good luck with all future endeavors. Enjoy it, boss.
When you look at the things that he's been through, you have to understand he's got to have a strong moral fiber. His moral compass is above reproach. And I believe that if you were to ask him, I would assume that he would say he had a great career. And one thing about greatness, great people inspire you to also believe that you can become great. And I think that's what the Chief has done for me.
I just would like to tell Chief Logan thanks, really thanks from the men and women of the police department, from the citizens of Detroit. Thanks for giving of his life for 40+ years. I really commend him. I wish him luck in any endeavor that he does. if there's anything I could ever do for him moving forward, I would love to do so. It's been an honor working with this man.
Thank you for what you've given to the department and to this city.
I wish you nothing but the best.
Congratulations, Chief, on your retirement. It's well deserved.